Before this video starts, I would just like to say I'm sorry for not uploading for a while because, well, burnout's a bitch and college had to take center stage for a while. And my most sincere thank yous for getting me to almost 200 subs, and as small as it may seem, means a lot to me. I would also like to take this chance and say if you have any suggestions or ideas of what you'd like to see me talk about on this channel, feel free to leave them in the comments below. With that being said, enjoy the video. It's the month of December. And you know what that means? She officially defrosted, and your boy's feeling nostalgic for a simpler time. It is no secret I love Team Fortress 2. It was one of the first online shooters I played as a kid in between getting shoved into lockers in school and watching Cartoon Network at home. A truly simpler time. Team Fortress 2 was an important staple of not just mine, but also many other people's childhoods, and possibly even adulthoods given the game is 17 years old now. As old as the game is, it still has a very dedicated fan base and a very active community. But how? How is a decade-old game with close to zero support from the devs still standing at almost 60,000 players every day? That's something I'll be exploring a bit today. So join me in a trip down memory lane so we can see how and why this game is still standing and what made it stand out from the rest in the first place. Team Fortress 2 is a class-based first-person shooter game that has 9 playable classes, which are as follows. Pyro, equipped with a flamethrower. Engineer, that can build sentry guns, teleporters, and dispensers that give you ammo and health. Spy, which can become invisible or disguise himself as the enemy, and one-shot people with a stab to the back. Heavy, a Russian minigun-wielding tank. A sniper, it's literally in the name. Scout, a light and fast class which can double jump. Soldier, a rocket launcher firing nutcase. Demo Man, a drunk grenadier equipped with a, you guessed it, a grenade launcher. And the team's medic, able to heal the team with the medigun. Now, while these classes do have their strict set of weaponry, that doesn't mean there aren't alternatives. Playing the game, you will start with stock weapons. The more you play, the more weapons you earn. Some are random drops, some are achievement tied, others can be crafted, all of them insane and viable. Some more than others. After unlocking weapons, you get to play around and pick and choose what you want your playstyle to look like. And that's where the fun really begins. True, the game locks you in a specific class playstyle, but that doesn't limit you at all. Want to be a melee knight that rushes players with nothing but a sword and a shield? You can. Want to be a rocket jumping maniac that Goomba stomps people and hits them with a shovel? You sure as shit can. Want to play a high risk, high reward spy with a kunai? Of course you want, you you can. There's variety, and I love that about the game. The game originally shipped with 3 game modes at launch and 6 maps. With later updates, it evolved into this many. Now we have almost 200 maps and more in the works every day across 18 different game modes, also more in the works every day. If you like classic objective-based modes, Control Point, Attack Defense, Payload, Capture the Flag, and King of the Hill are for you, my friend. And I would just like to say Team Fortress 2 does not have a team deathmatch mode. If you like to get wacky and try out different things, you got stuff like Medieval mode, which is melee weapons only. Manpower, a capture the flag game mode that has power-ups and grappling hooks. Or maybe you're a football fan. If so, Pastime is for you, which is just that, football. But people shoot at you while you try to score a goal. And last but not least, we have Man vs. Machine, a game mode introduced back in 2013. It is a wave-based PvE mode where you have to complete waves of incoming robots of all classes, and those classes have variants, and there are giant robots and tanks, and it's just really fun. You can play Boot Camp, which has all the maps and difficulties, in the infamous Wave 666, which was terrifying to me as a child as I could never beat it back then. But the real hotshots go to Man Up mode. The entrance fee will set you back 1 tour of duty ticket, which will set you back 95 cents. And once you complete a map, that ticket is gone. So if your tour has 4 maps in it, completing all 4 maps will set you back about 4 euros. Now, you're probably asking why the fuck would I spend money on this if I can have all that for free in Boot Camp? Because upon completing said tour, you get a medal, You get a weapon with a robot's head around it, signaling you beat the fuck out of those metallic bastards, and on specific tours you have a small, very small yet possible chance to get yourself one of these. If you don't like the Demo Man class, don't worry, there are Australian weapons for all classes. But if you're in it to gamble for a chance to win an Australian weapon, I think you'll have more profit investing in stocks or selling random stuff on eBay or community market. So why do people choose Man Up mode if they know the odds are stacked against them? Well, gambling is fun for some, and others, they just like those big tour numbers. I mean, there are rankings for this stuff, and some people take it really, really seriously. But still, the real way of expressing status in this game is with this.
Didn't I tell you to get some better suits? I spent $500. For how many suits? 5.
This being a free-to-play title, how on earth does Valve make money off of it? Sure, Tour of Duty tickets are one way, but I genuinely doubt Gabe pays the employees on just Tour of Duty ticket sales alone. This game, just like Counter-Strike, has loot boxes. They introduced the Battle Pass as well in the Gunmetal update, but I personally never got it, so I can't speak on it. I just know the concept is you buy the premium pass, you get some contracts to complete, and get rewarded with cosmetics and weapon skins. Most people still get their cosmetics the old-fashioned way, unboxing crates, buying them on the community market, or trading them. Crates are obtained randomly, or if you boot up the game for the first time during a holiday, you will get a complimentary case, but not the key. That you will need to buy yourself. There are different kinds of crates from different events, but the two main variants are the cosmetic crates and the weapon skin crates. You can also go to the Manco store if there's something specific you want, like taunts, which are what you all now know as emotes. Do keep in mind that mostly old and original cosmetics are in the store, and the newer ones have to be unboxed, bought at the community market, or traded. I will give a fair warning that the store is heavily, and I mean heavily, overpriced, so your best bet for some of the cosmetics is the community market. There's also something called unusual hats. These hats have a glowing effect around them and have about, let's say 1% chance of getting unboxed. Some effects are more rare than others, that is reflected in their price on the market and sites like backpack.tf, where you can check how much certain hats go for. Previously, item rarity was categorized with these, but now we also have hat rarity with blue being most common and red being rare. Think of it as blue means common, purple is rare, pink is epic, and red is legendary. What about the atmosphere of the game itself?
We're doing silly mode. Yeah. We're up to some buffoonery. Yeah. We're doing nothing but clowning.
Team Fortress 2 is far from a realistic or hardcore game as you can get. The graphics look cartoony, the guns are over the top and questionable at times, and the characters themselves feel like caricatures. I am 100% on board with that. I think it's one of the appeals this game has on top of everything mentioned previously. Today, with all the game studios pushing for realistic graphics, gritty gunplay, realistic movement, TF2 has none of that. You literally walk, run, jump, and shoot. Get skilled enough and you get to do stuff like this, and literally fly circles around your enemies. That is part of the appeal. The characters look simple, and I like to see them as blank canvases for the players to deck them out with fancy hats or just leave them like they are if that's not their style. But that's not to say that there are no actual skills to be learned here. Believe me, successfully rocket or sticky jumping is no easy feat, and Man Up mode needs planning and coordination and isn't all that brainless as people believe it is. The presentation matters, and I think this game absolutely nailed it.
Foreshadowing as a narrative device.
Is Team Fortress 2 a live service game? Before moving forward, let's discuss what is a live service game. A live service game, or games as a service, is described as a game for which video game publishers plan to continue providing new content which is sold to the player. I'm sure you're all aware and very much probably gagged when I said live service. And so from my understanding, a live service game needs to have regular updates or seasons as some games have them, content the players can purchase, and needs to have some sort of multi-stage roadmap, give or take. 2 out of those 3 points are there. We do get seasonal updates during Halloween, Christmas, and summer. Is it as frequent as, let's say, Apex Legends? No. Is it as consistent? Yes. Valve, for all the good they do for this game, have a very hands-off approach when it comes to this. Hell, even the content they do put out are community-made maps and hats. As much as they say the devs are mostly hands-off, they do react when pressed. During the hashtag SaveTF2 era, a couple of good people hand-delivered a book with over 300,000 signatures as a sign of goodwill, asking them to fix the issues with cheaters. Have they fixed it? Yes and no. From my experience, I play a lot in casual queues on European servers. I rarely encounter any spinning bots or cheaters, but some have said that the game is still unplayable, so I'd say they fixed it, but not completely, as with almost every online game. So, listing all these things, how and why is the game still breathing? I mean, Black Ops 2 was really popular for the time, but it ain't getting nearly as big a numbers as it used to. What makes this game special? Firstly, the fact it inspired a whole genre of shooters, that being hero shooters like Overwatch or Paladins, and secondly, the game is so old and free to play, it sort of developed its own permanent and self-sustaining ecosystem. The way I see it, Team Fortress 2 is a massive bubble with tons of smaller bubbles inside of it. These bubbles are made of the casual players who just hop on, enjoy the game, and move on. Think your free-to-play Gibbous and Pyrovision goggles wearing bunch. Then we have the competitive boys. After them we have the traders, and remember how I said there's trading in the game? Yeah, these guys mastered it. They developed their own currency systems with no support from Valve whatsoever. These guys just wanted to trade items and made their own little virtual economy out of it. After them, we have the MVM community, or the Man vs. Machine community. These are the guys I told you about that buy those tickets and complete tours to add to the count, as well as gamble for those golden weapons and for this, the wet dream of every MVM player. Sometimes there's infighting and a wee bit of toxicity.
I fucking hate n***s. I want all them f***s to hang themselves, fuck n***s.
And, well, whatever this is.
Are you ready? Are you ready for 2024? We are going to have the time of our life kicking every fucking ape, every gas pound, every fucking n*** that comes across. Seek! Heil! Seek! Heil! Seek! Heil!
Interesting bunch, that's all I'll say. But most of the people I encountered were pretty chill, and if you ever encounter any of these, just leave. They're really not worth the hassle. With this, I feel like I just scratched the surface of what Team Fortress 2 is and how far it has come. I hope this sparked some nostalgia or ignited the wish to either try it for the first time or go back to it. As I said in the intro, this game was a staple of my childhood and what got me passionate about gaming in the first place. Team Fortress 2, as much as I hate to say it, sort of popularized the loot box craze, but also did a lot of good for the gaming sphere as a whole. It started the widespread appeal for hero shooters. Like another more prevalent Team Fortress 2 creator said,
Fun fact, Overwatch's release seems to have boosted player numbers. The only explanation being that Blizzard fans were exposed to the controversial granddaddy of the genre and the class-based shooter genre.
While I agree no game will ever be like Team Fortress, Overwatch was pretty cool before. Now not so much. Simple graphics, seasonal updates, while maybe not groundbreaking, add a variety to the game loop with new maps, and I think this game will not die anytime soon due to the game having a very dedicated player base in different corners of its ecosystem that looks like it isn't going down anytime soon. So I leave you here with a message to Valve. Thank you for creating a game that withstood the test of time and made my childhood memorable. And to you, the viewer, happy holidays, thank you for sticking till the end, and as always, stay safe out there.